Hello and welcome to the Business Spotlight interview series. I'm your host Sonali Nigam, and today I'm joined by Priyan Dhutia, founder and operation director at BI Limited. Hi Priyank, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Sonali. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a it's been a real pleasure. Just to give you a quick 5 minute, 5 second clip about myself. I've been doing this for about 15 odd years. Was been with the business from the start and been through all the different evolution stages. So I'm quite excited to share with you guys.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Priyank. Now that you've already started talking about yourself and your journey, would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to what do you do? And of course, we know who you are. So
Sure.
can we start?
So my main aim in the business is to develop the business going forward. I always look for the next 5 years. That's my job. My job is to always look for the next 5 years and how to take the business from point A to point B. And in my line of work as being an owner, it's my job to ensure that there's always a future plan and how that relates to the current to the present. So I could be involved in HR, I could be involved with employee relations, with sales, with production, with development, with warehousing, you name it. It's a broad spectrum.
God, so you are in every sector, or I would rather say every department is where you're providing your support. So
Right.
as we were chatting before, also Priyank, we were talking about you, and as you said, it has been 15 years in the business. So can I ask firstly, what do you attribute your growth to?
So the growth, I think is two things. I think one is the right people. And the reason why I say that is because one thing I've realized, you're only as good as your team. If you have the right team in place, there's nothing stopping you, sorry, because they're your support and
Yeah,
you're their leader. So you lead them and they support you. It work if
right.
you got the right team in place, it works really, really well. The second thing I would say the attribute is to work out what you are best at. So if you're good at making products, be the best at it. Don't try and be the jack of all trades, just be the master of what you're good at. So when you specialize, then your business starts to evolve around that speciality.
Right, Priyank. You've mentioned one important aspect, which is the employees or the people that you work with. So, can I ask that? What qualities do you look for in employees, and when you hire them, and how do you foster a positive and a productive environment?
Sure. So the first thing I look for is I look for people willing to unlearn what they know. So what I mean by that is that I've met so many people in my life that where I've done interviews that people have got 20 years experience, 30 years experience, 10 years experience. But what
Yeah.
I need is a person that's going to fit within the business. I want a person that's going to come to the business, understand what we do, and then put their input. And what that basically means is understand our current process and then come to me and go, right, I've been here for 6 months. I understand what you do. I
Yeah.
learn what you've done, and now this is what I know. And then as a team, then we apply that. So that what happens that it positively reinforces in the employee's mind that the company wants me, the company listens to me, and that then brings me a lot closer to a lot closer to them. And once they're in that mindset, saying that they're bringing their own personal side to the business, then they become more productive because it's very easy for someone who's had many moons of experience to come into a business and say, no, it has to be done this way, and this way. But what they fail to realize is that these systems are in place in a business because it suits the business, not because it
Right.
suits. And that's the key. That's the key difference. So I've had staff here for nearly 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest member of staff has been since the business was founded. I've had my team, my management team have got combined 45 years between them because the way that we always work is that it's about the business system. It's about people in the business, not about people saying that this is the way it is and that's it. So it becomes a team effort, which automatically gives you a productive environment. And we also do things like we throw Christmas parties or we have days out, and just to
Yeah.
give people the chance to actually bond with their team that's not in work, and that
Yeah.
always helps.
That's very interesting. And to highlight this, Priyank, there are a lot of business owners that are listening to you at the moment. So can I ask what are some misconceptions about running a business and how do you address them?
So I think the biggest misconception is that it's easy. It's not.
Of
Because
course.
when you run your own business, you are the business in the sense that it becomes part of your life. It becomes like a child. And
Yeah.
it's very easy to look at these people on social media where they've made 20 million pounds and they're sitting on a yacht somewhere. That's not true. That's not real life. Real
Yep.
life is it's hard grind. You have to put the hours in, you have to put the work in. I think a wise man once told me many years ago is that business is like riding a bicycle, as in the more you pedal, the more faster you go. But then if you stop pedaling, then eventually the bike will run, but then it'll stop. And it's
Right.
just I think the best thing for me to say is the more you put in is the more that you're going to get out from it. I think one of the biggest misconceptions as a business owner is it's very easy to have the misconception from being a business owner that our jobs are easier because people think, oh, he owns a business, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. That's not true. We have
That's
the
not
hardest
true.
job. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we have to do everything and again
Yeah.
and again. So I think for me that's the biggest misconception.
Ah, I mean, I so agree with you what you said because yes, people have an idea that it feels like to be a business owner is just to relax. But I think it's just the other way around. So completely agree with you that on that. And because we need to make sure that the interview is full of learning, can I also ask what challenges are you facing currently in business and how do you address them?
I think the biggest challenge I'm facing at the minute, being a UK business, is the biggest one at the moment is the financial burden coming from governmental increase in taxes. That's the biggest
Taxes.
one at the moment.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of news and there's a lot of media news about tax increases and this and that's a big financial impact that's going to have on our businesses as well. And at the minute, we're looking at ways where we don't want to reduce staff. We want to find ways where we can burden the impact. So we're looking at different things and different pricing structures, margins, cost saving, these sort of things. The other thing that
Right.
I'm facing actually, and I think a lot of businesses is that, especially being in the UK market, transport to global market it's very difficult because the rules keep changing.
Mm.
And not having that support from a trade body or a body to actually guide us through. And I think that's a very hard challenge that at the minute, even we're struggling. So it's quite tricky, but we have to keep going forward, right?
Of course, we have to keep moving forward. And with your smile, I can definitely see that you are not letting, you're not stopping anywhere. So, my next question is something different because we've touched about your business, we talked about your journey, but we've not touched about your personal life. So, how do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business and
Oh,
strike
that
that
is
perfect balance, if I can ask that?
that is the hardest thing I think I'm doing. I have two very young kids, and they're very young, 7 and 5, and they want me around all the time, which is fantastic. Like because I love being a very proactive father,
Wow,
and then balancing that is a near enough impossible task. The one piece of advice that I would always give everybody is set clear boundaries. So when you're at home, try and be home. Don't try
right.
and put your mind at home. When you're at work, be at work. And it's an ongoing challenge. I'm going to be honest with you. I think some days the work comes home and home turns into work, and obviously the kids get left behind. But then some days it's the other way around. So it's a I think it's set clear boundaries. I've not reached it yet. I'm trying to. I really am
Yeah.
trying to, but I've not reached it yet.
But that is so inspirational, to set clear boundaries. And I'm sure our audience have learned and picked up so many things. So, is there any closing remark before we wrap up, Priyank?
I think the only thing I would say to anybody that's in business is don't give up. That's the best thing I would say. As in, challenges will come. A lot of challenges will come. If you give up, then you will lose. But you'll always find a way forward.
Wow, wow, that is just brilliant. And thank you so much for your time today, Priyank. It was great meeting you and learning more about your journey.
Thank
And
you.
to
Thank you so
everyone
much.
watching, yes, I look forward to see you in my next episode. Thank you, Priyank.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.